Topic for today is a hyperparathyroidism. So, first of all, I will discuss what is parathyroid gland. There are four parathyroid gland which consist of the two type of cells, the oxiphyll cells and the chief cells. What are the oxiphyll cells? These are the polygonal cells which have got the central rounded uniform nuclei, large to dark pink cytoplasm, and has got the water clear appearance. Why it has a water clear appearance? Because of presence of the glycogen. It has also got the secretory granule which secrete the parathyroid hormone. What are the important facts about the oxiphyll cells? They are large in size, more in number, present singly or in the clusters. They had got the acidophilic cytoplasm. And what are the chief cells? Chief cells are present in the early childhood or the infancy, but not in adults. They are present in adults in the very few amount. So what is the function of the parathyroid hormone? The parathyroid hormone basically maintains the calcium homeostasis. If the levels of the calcium decreases in the blood, it stimulates the parathyroid hormone secretion. What the parathyroid hormone will do? It increases the renal tubule reabsorption of the calcium. It increases the conversion of the vitamin D in its active dehydroxy form in the kidney by increasing the level of the alpha-1 hydroxylase in the kidney. It increases the phosphate urinary excretion, decrease the serum phosphate levels. Because if the phosphate levels increases in the blood, calcium levels decreases in the blood, because the phosphate and calcium has got the inverse relationship. It also increases the GIT calcium absorption. Because of all these effects, the levels of the calcium increases in the blood, which will ultimately give the negative feedback to the secretion of the parathyroid hormone. This was all about the parathyroid hormone. The parathyroid diseases are classified into hyperparathyroidism and the hypoparathyroidism. What is hyperparathyroidism? When there is an increased level of the parathyroid hormone, it is known as a hyperparathyroidism, and when there is a decreased level of the parathyroid hormone, this is known as hypoparathyroidism. What are the main causes of the hyperparathyroidism? There is a primary causes, the secondary causes, and the tertiary. Primary, what is meant by the primary hyperparathyroidism? When there is a problem in the parathyroid gland itself is known as the primary hyperparathyroidism. Means the adenoma of the parathyroid gland, hyperplasia of the parathyroid gland, or the parathyroid carcinoma. What is meant by secondary? When there is a compensatory hypersecretion. In the case of the renal failure, this is known as the secondary hyperparathyroidism. What is mean the tertiary? When there is a persistent hypersecretion of the parathyroid gland. For example, in the case of the renal transplant, this is known as the tertiary hyperparathyroidism. Now come to the parathyroid adenomas. What are the parathyroid adenomas? Parathyroid adenomas are basically the benign tumors of the parathyroid gland. They are present in the solitary form, so known as solitary parathyroid adenoma. What is the pathogenesis behind the formation of the parathyroid adenoma? There is a sporadic causes and the familial syndromes. What are the sporadic causes? Cyclin D1 inversion. When there is a pericentromeric inversion of the cyclin D1 gene from the chromosome 11 short arm to the long arm, there will be overexpression of the cyclin D1 results in increased cellular proliferation. What is meant by the pericentromeric inversion? For example, this is the centromere, this is the long arm of the chromosome, this is the short arm of a chromosome, and this is the gene of the cyclin D1. When there is an inversion of this gene from this place to this place, this is known as the pericentromeric inversion, means around the centromere. Other causes include the MEN1 syndrome mutation. What is MEN? Multiple endocrine neoplasia gene, which is the tumor suppressor gene. It's present in the 20 to 30% sporadic cases of the parathyroid adenoma. What are the familial syndrome involves? MEN1 and 2. RET, familial hypocalciuric hypercalcemia. Why there is a familial hypocalciuric hypercalcemia? It's because of loss of mutation in the parathyroid calcium sensing receptor gene. For example, the levels of the calciums are normal or increase in the blood. Okay, and this calcium is going to give the feedback inhibition to the parathyroid hormone secretion. But when there is, how it gives the negative feedback inhibition to the parathyroid gland? By the extracellular calcium receptor present on the parathyroid gland. But when there is a mutation in this receptor, the calciums itself are unable to give the negative feedback to the parathyroid gland, so there will be no inhibition to the secretion of the parathyroid hormone, and there will be increased secretion of the parathyroid hormone, because the parathyroid gland are not getting the negative feedback from the calcium because of the mutation in the extracellular calcium receptors. So the parathyroid calcium receptors genes mutation, there is a decreased sensitivity to the extracellular calcium receptors and parathyroid gland. What will be the morphology present in the parathyroid adenoma? These tumors are the solitary, present singly, similar to the normal parathyroid gland. Weight is around the 0.5 to 5 gram. Position, it will be present proximal to the thyroid or maybe ectopic. What is the ectopic position of the parathyroid adenoma? Mediastinum. What type of appearance they have? They have the soft, well circumscribed, because these are the benign tumor, tan to reddish brown and encapsulated. What is the condition of the surrounding? Normal or the shrunken. Why there is a normal or shrunken? Because of the feedback inhibition of the calcium. What will be the microscopic feature? Uniformly arranged polygonal chief cells, not the oxyphil cells, with the small centrally placed nuclei, but there will be a few oxyphil cells, larger oxyphil cells. What is mean by the oxyphil adenomas? Oxyphil adenomas are basically composed of entirely of oxyphil cells, but not the chief cells. These are similar to the Hurdle cells tumors of the thyroid. What is the Hurdle cell tumor of thyroid? This is the adenoma, and the surrounding, this is the surrounding of adenoma. There in the surrounding there will be a rim of compressed non-neoplastic parathyroid tissues will be present, which are separated by the fibrous tissues. These are the fibrous tissues present. This is the compressed parenchyma, and this is the fibrous tissue separating it. This is known as a Hurdle cell tumor, like appearance of the Hurdle cell tumor of thyroid, but the mitotic figures are rare, but pleomorphism may be present because of endocrine atypia. What is primary hyperplasia of the parathyroid gland? It involves all the 4 glands. It is sporadically, it has got the MEN syndrome, means the multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome. It has got the weight less than 1 gram. These are basically involve the chief cells and the diffuse or the multinodular pattern. It has got water clear appearance, water clear hyperplasia, and around the strands there will be a fibrous strands, delicate fibrous strands. What is parathyroid carcinoma? Parathyroid carcinomas are the malignant tumors of the parathyroid gland, but these are the circumscribed lesions but may be invasive. It only involves the one gland. What can be the appearance? It's a grey whitish irregular mass, but what is the color in the benign tumor? Tan to reddish brown. Weight is around the 10 gram. Arrangement: cells are uniformly arranged in nodular or the trabecular pattern, and these tumors are encapsulated. What are the morphological changes in other organs other than the parathyroid gland due to the adenoma, carcinoma and hyperplasia? There are two types of changes we can see: the skeletal system changes and the renal changes. What are the skeletal system changes? There are three changes in the skeletal system: the osteoporosis, the brown tumor and the osteotitis fibrocystica. What osteoporosis? There is decreased bone mass in the phalanges, the proximal femur and the vertebrae. Because of increased osteoclastic activity affects the cortical bone, subperiosteal and endosteal surface, then the medullary bone. This is the whole bone. This is the periosteal surface, this is the endosteal surface. It will affect only the endosteal and the periosteal space, but not the medullary bone. What is railroad tracks? In the medullary bone, osteoclasts form the tunnels, dissect centrally along the length of the trabecula. These are the trabeculae. Osteoclast is going to form a tunnel. Osteoclast, they are going to form a tunnel and dissect centrally. This is known as dissecting osteitis. This dissecting osteoclast formed tunnel are known as railroad tracks. What happened due to this effect? Marrow spaces are start to going to replaced by the fibrous tissues. Now comes to the brown tumor. Because of this osteodystrophy and all these effects, loss of bones result in the microfractures and the secondary hemorrhages in growth of reparative fibrous tissues, which creates a mass known as brown tumor. Why is it called brown tumor? Because it imparts the brown color due to the vascularity, hemorrhages, hemosiderin deposition. These brown tumor undergo the cystic degeneration and form the three effects: osteoclastic activity increases, peritrabecular fibrosis and the cystic brown tumors. These increase osteoclastic activity, peritrabecular fibrosis and the cystic brown tumors. These all are known as osteotitis fibrocystica. Other name for osteotitis fibrocystica, von Reckline-Gosson disease of bone. What could be the renal changes? Renal changes involve the nephrolithiasis, calcification of interstitium and the tubules result in the nephrocalcinosis. There are also metastatic changes can be seen in the stomach, lung, myocardium and the blood vessels. What labs can be carried out? We can do the serum calcium levels. We can do the immunoassays. Through which we can identify the PTH, parathyroid hormone, and the parathyroid hormone related peptide. What can be the clinical features or the symptoms present? As I discussed, the bone disease and the bone pain secondary to the fractures weakened by the osteoporosis and osteotitis fibrocystica. There will be a nephrolithiasis, renal stones. In 20% newly diagnosed patients. There may be GIT disturbance including the constipations, nausea, peptic ulcer, pancreatitis, and the gallstones. There may be central nervous system alteration like depression, lethargy, and seizures, neuromuscular abnormalities, weakness, and the fatigue, cardiac manifestation, aortic or the mitral valve calcifications. These can be the clinical signs and symptoms present due to the hyperparathyroidism, whether it's due to the parathyroid adenoma, parathyroid hyperplasia, or the parathyroid carcinoma.